reported. In reality, Luka was supposed to use the time off to improve his conditioning. Team sources said it was one of the straws that broke the proverbial camel's back.
Wait a minute. So because he decided not to use the time off for conditioning, that was the straw that broke the camel's back?
That's what's being reported. This will be Luka's first season playing fewer than 60 games. Now, here's the kicker, where everybody's like, well, hold on, wait a minute. On the other side, AD is 6 years older and has failed to compete in 60 games 4 of the last 6 seasons.
Right. Well, something ain't making no sense, huh? Something is not making any sense, because you trade for somebody, you trade your better player that's played over 60 games for most of his career outside of this one, and you're bringing somebody that hasn't played in over 60 games 4 out of 5 of the last seasons. So something ain't making sense. That's why I think, and I still think today, whatever the true reason is that they traded Luka, it hasn't been said yet.
I believe 2 things can be true. I believe they had grown frustration with trying to tell Luka about his conditioning. I also believe they didn't want to pay him $50 million.
Hey, even though I just started watching basketball, when you name the top 3 players in the NBA right now, is Luka one of the 3?
When he's at his best, yes.
Case closed.
But let me ask you a question. Let's just say for the sake of argument. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say for the sake of argument.
Talk to me.
Coach Belichick, he resigns.
Yes, sir.
Tom Brady's in year 5. He's already won 3 Super Bowls, but he resigns. Andy Reid, after last year, said, you know what, I'm good. You don't think people was going like, well, hold on, why you still got a guy that's in his prime? What's really going on?
Right.
And I think the thing for me, my attention, I got like, hold on. You mean to tell me Rick Carlisle has a guy that's 23 years of age and he don't want a contract extension? He'd rather go coach Indiana? I don't know about that one, Ocho.
And it don't make no sense, even for Rick Carlisle, because even if you do go to Indiana, you still don't have a player like what you got over here in Dallas, especially at that. Now, as a coach, you notice, whether it be football for Andy Reid, he had Donovan McNabb.
Yes.
He never had a Patrick Mahomes, though. Players like this come around every so often, especially one as special as Luka.
Yeah.
You don't leave and go somewhere else because of problems with conditioning. Things that can actually be fixed, especially when the product itself, when it touches the court, it gives you that kind of goddamn production.
But they don't, but see, you said it can be fixed. They were wanting him to fix it, and he wasn't fixing it. That's the thing. Ocho, what happens if the team says, Ocho, we want you to be here on camp. We want you to, hey, at some point in time, they're going to get tired of telling you. Now, let's just fast forward right quick to Aaron Rodgers. What did Aaron Rodgers say this year? He said at the beginning of the season, if we don't get this thing right, we're all going to be out of here. Joe Douglas is gone. Robert Saleh is gone. Nathaniel Hackett is gone. Aaron Rodgers is gone. They're looking at it like, hold on, if we don't get this thing right with Luka, we all going to be up out of here.
Can I ask you a question? When it comes to the game of basketball, forget basketball. Yeah. When it comes to any sport, it's all about what?
It's about your superstars.
Your superstars, and they have to do what consistently? Outside of updating your resume, you have to perform.
Yes.
You have to perform. At any point in Luka's career, have his number decreased?
No.
What we argue?
Look.
What are we talking about?
Ocho.
Conditioning, too fat, too slow.
But see, here's the thing.
The numbers have remained the same, and he's been consistent.
I get that. But everybody keeps saying, do this, do this. That's easy to say when it's not your $450 million. See, it's easy to say, I would do this. It's not your money. People leave a restaurant and don't go back when they don't get good service on a $60 tab. What you gonna do when you got $400 million and that money is fully guaranteed? Because a lot of times if you get a bad meal, Ocho, they'll say, you know what, Mr. Johnson, we're gonna take this off. This one's on us. When you sign a $400 million contract, Players ain't giving you ish back.
But the one thing players are played based on performance on the hardwood.
Yes.
On the hardwood. His performance has always been elite.
Yes.
It's always
I agree.
The cream of the crop. He's always been top of the list in almost every statistical category. So you're not going to, okay, you can say it because they actually did it. You're not going to tell me, that's why I'm not a GM. That's why I'm not in that position. That's not why I'm sitting in that seat, in that high seat, making judgment calls on who I should keep and who I should play. Because ain't no way in hell I'm trading Luka, and nothing when it comes to producing on the court is going wrong. Whether he's fat, whether he's skinny, whether he's out of shape. Because if you're doing what you're doing while you're out of shape, imagine if I can get the right people with you or convince you to get in shape.
He had the right people. You do realize that when they hire a superstar, when you get a superstar, they bring your people on. They let you bring your people on, right, Ocho? You do realize that. It ain't like football. Now, Tom Brady had a very unique circumstance where he had his guy right there with him. But most football teams don't do that. NBA teams allow you to do that. Mike Macias traveled with LeBron. He always has. Randy Mims traveled with LeBron. Always has. Yeah. So you said the right people. Hell, he got the people that he wanted around him.
You know what? He's in the right place now.
But sure.
He's in the right place now.
I hope he looks at LeBron like, well, damn, this man playing like this in year 22.
Hold on. LeBron ain't finna let him take no shortcuts. Not over there. Absolutely not. Not only are you able to watch, but you're able to see someone that's done it for 20-some odd years at the highest level and is actually the NBA's all-time leading scorer. Luka's looking at that. LeBron is talking to him. You know they're going to have that talk. I know he had that talk before because all the rumbling through the media. I would love that conversation. I would love insight on how you've been able to do it this goddamn long. How about I do, you know what? How about I change up my routine? How about I tighten up on my discipline and my structure and the way I do things and my approach to the game? Well, if I'm already great and I'm somewhat lazy in a sense in my approach to preparing for the game and I'm playing extremely well, what happens if I tighten up the motherfucker? I almost curse. What happens if I tighten up the bolts and approach the game of basketball the way LeBron does?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no telling what I can achieve, and I'm already great right now.
But everybody doesn't have that mindset, Ocho. I think LeBron came in. I think he had a couple of goals. He wanted to be considered the best player to ever play the game. He wanted to play as long as he possibly could. So he took the steps very early on. If you hear people talk about when LeBron was in high school, you hear people talk about LeBron when he first got there, how everything is so routine, is so regimented, from his rest time to his nap, to his stretching, getting to the arena so many hours early, getting his work, getting his lift in, getting his shots up, everything for 22 years. Structure, structure. Yeah. Discipline, and discipline. Everybody doesn't know that, Ocho.
Right, but this is another one. LeBron didn't have a goddamn choice. Understand, coming out of high school, the odds were stacked against him. All the pressure was on him. The expectations were out the roof. So he had no choice but to approach the game of basketball being the chosen one coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Hell, they said in 10th grade, I think you said it yourself, 10th grade, he could have came